My name is Sergio Arzeni, and I'm the director of the OECD Center for Entrepreneurship, Small Medium-Sized Enterprises and Local Development at the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, in Paris. I started as an entrepreneur at the age of 18, and I created with an older partner 3 companies in the media world. And after 3 years of running successfully these companies, I sold out, and with the money earned, I engaged into the university because I felt the need to educate myself better that entrepreneurial success achievement was not enough for me. Subsequently, I engaged into an international career in big organization, first in the European Commission, and then for now over 30 years at the OECD in Paris. But I've never had a permanent contract. I've always been an entrepreneur of myself within the OECD organization. I have developed the program on entrepreneurship, SMEs and local development. I raised the funds. I've never got any money from the organization itself. My program, my direction is made essentially of funds funded by funds that I raise. So I consider myself having been an entrepreneur in the first place, and then an intrapreneur, an entrepreneur within established organization. I think that you can be entrepreneur in different ways, even within big organizations. But about entrepreneurship, there is something that I think should be well understood. The capacity to change your ideas, to change your, and not your programs, to adapt to changing circumstances. The 80% of the most successful young entrepreneurs in the United States are in a business totally different from the one in which they have engaged their business plan. So don't stick too much to your business plan. If you realize that it doesn't work as you expected, be ready to change and engage in something else. That is a very important aspect. There is a magazine in the United States called Inc. Dot. This magazine also reviews the 500 fastest growing SMEs. And this is what happens to these fastest growing SMEs. Another important element that we learn from these surveys is that the money needed to start up a company is going down significantly. 10 years ago, the average cost of launching one of these 500 fastest growing small business was in the range of $500. Now, is down to around $30,000. So the cost of a modest, medium-sized car. So this, the idea that money is a barrier to start up a company is something, when you talk about this sort of figures, is not so important. So these are two important principles in my view. Don't stick to the business plan, and second, don't be afraid of the cost of starting the enterprise. The main source of financing all over the world is personal savings, the friends, relatives that can borrow you this, the money you need, on the trust, the confidence that you are able to build around your own personality, your own ideas, and the capacity to convince. That is, without trust, there is no entrepreneurship. And building trust is something that implies the way in which you are, you present yourself, you communicate. So this is why communication is also so important. But another lesson that we have learned over the years is that engaging into entrepreneurship is not necessarily something that you do just for profit, and that there is a connection between non-profit and for-profit. Many people engage into some voluntary work in even in social activities or that, and then from there they shift into a more economic for-profit activity. There is we live in a relationship society, and the relationship that you build in an environment different from that which is strictly business is also extremely important in developing the network of a relationship that can be instrumental to the development of your own business. Then what I would say is that the experience of all the programs developed on self-employment have shown that whenever you engage into an entrepreneurial initiative, you develop those problem-solving capacities, which are also those which are most in demand by employers. So the result is that even if someone who has engaged into an entrepreneurial dynamic at the end of the day does not come up with the creation of its own business, then he becomes more attractive, more employable for the employers. So research that has been carried out in various countries on self-employment show that 90% of those who are have gone through a self-employment program but have not created their own companies, they have found a job and a satisfactory job. So that is, there is a continuum in the field of entrepreneurship between what you can do within the institution and outside the institution, in your business life and in the ecosystem. And the financing is important, of course, but more for the further development. There are, what matters most is to have the first client to sell. There was a famous say of the Oppenheim banking family in Frankfurt that was saying, selling a pearl that you have to someone that wants it is not an entrepreneurial endeavor, but to sell a pearl that you don't have to someone that doesn't want it, that is the great entrepreneurial achievement. That is business. And this is why we have seen, for instance, that so many entrepreneurs have started with a client and then using credit cards to start launching their own business. So don't be afraid. Money should not be a barrier to launching and engaging into entrepreneurship, but the building trust and developing a forceful, convincing idea to your friends, partners, and potential clients.